Hello and welcome to the second short demo of the analytics features that are new in XLCubed 7.5. This time I'm going to show you some of the visualizations that are available. I showed the basics of using the interface in the first demo, so I won't cover those again. If you missed them or I go too fast here, you might want to give that first video a look. I'll open an existing report and add a new sheet to it. The visualizations I'm going to show you today are the tree maps and small multiple types, but I'll do tree maps first. We'll pick grid and tree map and choose where to split it, but I'll just leave this now and we can change that later if we need to. The default view shows me two measures plotted by date, but I'll switch this to pick the measures that I'm really interested in. I'm going to plot sales amount and I'm going to plot that against the profit margin. And I'll switch the dates so that we have just the months of 2003 visible. Tree maps allow you to visualize two values at the same time. So here the size of the box represents the sales and the colour is the profit. As usual, I can drill into the grid to get to the days and the tree map updates. And if I go back, you'll see I can also drill into the tree map itself, and again I go down to the days level. The standard slice and dice is also available, so I can pick customers, go to the country level and easily switch which data I'm looking at. One other useful feature of tree maps is the ability to nest dimensions. This means I can go back to the hierarchies and pick products, and I'll move that onto rows just before dates. From here I'm just going to go and analyse which sort of bikes I'm selling, so I'll expand the tree. And as you can see, I can now see the split between the various types of bikes. And again I can drill, so if I drill into road bikes, I can see the split between the different types of those that I've sold. Next we're going to look at small multiples, which may be familiar to you if you've used the Excel version of XLCubed already. First up we'll do a standard chart, and I'll look at the scatter charts after that. There are just a few differences. So what we first see is a chart by date, and we can start drilling into our data from here if we want. What I'm actually going to do is switch measures, and I'm going to pick the internet sales amount measure. And to get some more dates, I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick the months of 2003 again. And because this is a time series chart, I'm going to switch that to a line chart. I can easily split out this data to see the trend by customer country just by dragging the dimension to series and then drilling into it. And next I can move products to columns and drill into that. And again, I can split out to view that data. And of course, I can rearrange the dimensions on my report so I can get the best view of my data. Finally, we're going to have a look at the scattered small multiples, which is pretty similar to the normal charts we've just seen. The exception with these is that we're going to need to pick two measures to plot against each other. In this example, I'm going to plot the sales amount against the order quantity. And for date, I'll change the plot so that we have data for every month in the cube. This gives me a simple scatter chart, but the great thing about small multiples is that I can drill into this data by other dimensions. So if I move product to series and then drill it, I can immediately see that the trends for bikes is very different to that of the other product groups. And again, I can split this out by country and break down the analysis by that dimension. The chart types available here are different from those on a normal small multiple, and one useful type is the dot plot, which shows a ring instead of a point. This is great when your data is quite dense and all the points overlap, because in that case you can often not tell how many data points there are, and here you can just look at the density of the rings to see how your data is distributed. Okay, the last thing I'll show is a bubble plot, which allows you to visualize a third measure. I'll switch the chart type to bubble ring, and then I need to pick the third measure that I'm going to use as the bubble size. Here I'm going to pick the profit, and now the circle size represents that measure. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you found it interesting, and as always, feel free to contact support@xlcubed.com with any questions.